Welcome to the show that takes up no more than 5 minutes of your time, but could help you gain massive real estate knowledge. It's 5 Minutes in Real Estate with best-selling author Shane Willis.
Hello, this is Shane Willis, the Pensacola real estate expert, bringing you today's episode. Starting a new week off. It's now Monday. I'm going to try and walk this episode. I actually just wrapped up some work at the CrossFit gym. Shout out to CrossFit VU over there on Old Chemstrand. I think that's not Old Chemstrand, Old Palafox. Anyways, look it up. You can figure it out. But kind of glad to get back to the normal routines. For those of you that are following, and I can't talk today. For those of you who have been following the episodes, you know that last week I was on set all week shooting a television show for Discovery and Amazon. When it does come out, I will let everyone know and do a shameless plug. But although it's extremely fun, I enjoy being on set all week. I enjoy telling stories. I try and tell this was a true story, so try and tell it to the best of my ability, and I know the director did as well, so that we could give the family the story that needed to be told. Anyways, that's not why you're listening to this podcast. That's more of a personal stuff. But hey, it's my podcast, so if that's what I want to talk about, that's what we're going to talk about. That's not what we're going to talk about, though. We're going to talk about the report I just got handed that is actually starting to raise some concern. One of the things that I've been talking about for a few months now is our inventory, our real estate inventory. Where are we at? And the report I got handed this morning actually starts to make me nervous. It's getting to a point where I'm actually starting to get nervous about an inventory crunch. Let me read some of the statistics that I got on this morning's report. You know, the wind was not blowing until I started out here walking, and now all of a sudden the wind decided to pick up. So some of the highlights of that, it says mortgage rates are hovering around 4% for all of 2017. That forced a lot of buyers off the fence, and they're wanting a strong demand right now. Remember now, our basic economic 101, supply goes down, demand goes up. What has to happen to price? Yep. It's got to go up. It's got to go up. Trulia. This is the report that I got. Trulia reported that in Q4 2017, U.S. home inventory decreased by 10.5%. That's a double-digit decrease in inventory. All right, and that's the biggest drop since Q2 of 2013. 2013. Now, if you remember 2013, we were in the middle of the mortgage crisis. So we were still coming out of all that. We still had a huge foreclosure glutton. But this is the largest decrease in supply since then. For those of you who are getting our tips and tricks, I'm going to send you a graph that shows the categories. But I want you to look at something. I'm going to give you guys that are listening just a small taste. Starter homes was the largest dip. So remember last week we were talking about millennials wanting to buy and why they want to buy. Well, starter homes is the largest dip in supplies. 19% dip in inventory. So you've got more of a demand from a generation that is starting to purchase on top of some people that are starting to get out on their own. Let's see if I can turn around this way so the wind doesn't blow too hard. To get out on their own, you've got more of a demand. Interest rates are still extremely low. Mortgages are a little bit easier to get than they were even 3 years ago. Now, they're not easy by any means, but they're easier to get. But now we're starting to have a supply problem. Why do I say all that? Well, first of all, I say if you're thinking about selling, reach out. There's a couple of links in the show notes and a couple of links on the website that gives you a free 20-minute phone consultation with me, because right now really may be a time to discuss that. There's less inventory out there, which means less competition. And again, basic supply and demand says that your inventory low, demand high, it has to go up. Now, these are winter numbers. We normally see a lot of properties come on during the spring. I'm sitting here talking to you at the end of January. We see some properties come on at the end of spring. But if you're 19% down, we're not going to see that many properties come on. So if you're looking at selling, man, now really may be a good time to kick that around. If you wanted to do that in 2018, because there's a lot of people out there buying and not as many houses, or not as many choices to look at. Now, I don't want to discourage the buyers, because I know I have a lot of buyers that listen to this podcast. I don't want to discourage you from going out there looking. There are properties. There's just not as many right now. And we need to have honest conversations. And this is some stuff I had even 2 weeks ago before I went on set last week. I met with a couple and we had some honest conversations. And one of the honest conversations I have with every one of the buyers that I work with, all right, let's draw out our wants. Okay, how many of those are needs? Because that is different. These are our wants. This is our price point. How many of these are needs? And we need to really be honest. So if you're starting, especially as a starter home with a lower inventory, you really need to look at your wants and needs. And that's just one of the aspects that has to be handled right now. That's all I got for you today. As always, if you have not subscribed to get the tips, tricks, graphs, I've got some graphs about the other homes to include luxury homes, trade-up homes, where their inventories are right now. Make sure you get over to 5minutesinrealestate.com. That's 5minutesinrealestate.com. Also, if you have not subscribed to the podcast, man, decided just a pickup. If you've not subscribed to the podcast yet, get over iTunes, Google Play. We're on both of those. And if you found any value in this or any other episode, as I'm reporting from a hurricane, make sure that you share it on social media. Thanks for listening. Have a great Monday.